What's up, y'all? I know it's the evening. Here I am with Miss Sassy Massy, and we are here because we wanted to talk to you guys about it not being too late to begin something that you are envisioning and wanting in your heart. And I'm gonna let Miss Sassy introduce herself, and then we'll just go on from there. All right, Christina, what's up?
Oh, girl, what's going on? I've got so much content, over the last
Oh,
couple of
good.
days. Over the last couple of days, I've just been hearing so many things, and I just have been downloaded with so many great things to talk about. So I'm Christina Massey. I am the CEO and founder of Consistent Clarity Coaching, and I have been, building a coaching business for the last 14 years, working with women in the beauty industry. And I have recently transitioned to working with all women who have just that entrepreneurial mindset, who want to either start a business, grow a business, or start to dip into more of the passive income in their business. So I am just really excited. We're all about, leadership, performance, strategy, marketing, business strategy as well. So it's just good. It's a good time to be in
Good.
business.
Yeah.
Nina,
Yeah.
it's a great,
It really
it's a
is.
great, it's a great, like, can we just pause for a second and
Yeah.
just say,
Let's
like,
pause.
to all of the people that are out there right now, I just want you to know, like, if you have a dream in your heart and you have been given a vision to start something, I want you to start it now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we want you to start it now because right now is the best time.
Mm-hmm.
The reason it's the best time is because we're in a downward economy. Whether you believe that or not, it doesn't matter, but we're in a downward economy. And when you're in a downward economy, you have nowhere to go but up, right? You have nowhere to go but up. But if you start a business in an upward economy and something crashes, you're like, I don't know what to do.
Right.
Things around
Mm-hmm.
you fall down because you were on the up. You didn't know how to go through the struggle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I just really think that now it's just a perfect time. Like, it's so good. It's so good. It's so fruitful. And I just don't want anybody to miss the boat. I really
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. No, I agree with you, and I think that is something that people need to be careful of too. Is what they're putting in their ear and their eyes. And I call it the ear gate, the eye gate, right? Like it's really
Yeah,
you should be protecting those gates, right? Because
absolutely.
truth is if you're going to be listening to too much of media, too much of social media, too much of all of that, you are going to miss it because
Mhm.
you are going to only see doom and gloom. The media, all it's showing us is doom and gloom. I don't care
Yeah.
what side of this political spectrum you're on. It's all doom and gloom, and it's all BS. Because yes, there is things out there that we should be concerned with. Of course, absolutely, you should be safe. That's all very true. But at the same time, what happens is that you start to really ingest that, and then you become what you said. Like, if you're in a down economy, the only way is up. But if you're only focused on the down, you're going to stay there. So
Yeah.
the whole thing here is, Christina, is that I know that we titled it that it's really never too late, and I
Hmm.
agree with that. Listen, I'm 50. I turned 50 this year, and I am
Yeah.
creating a really fantastic coaching business, and it's going really, really well. And I'm going to be relaunching a whole program, right? And that's at 50. So I don't think it's you are ever it's ever too late. And if anything, and I'm sure you agree with me, like, you bring a ton of experience when you're in your midlife and over, right? You
Uh-huh.
bring so much experience. It's so rich. Now, you've been through your ups and downs. You have had a lot of obstacles, and you have had a lot of amazing mistakes. And I call them amazing because that's where you've learned. That's where you've really been able to know that you can overcome things and catapult yourself forward. I think mistakes are beautiful. I think failure to me is just feedback. And so all of these things come together, and it's never too late. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
I remember, Christina, reading a story of this woman. I don't know if you ever read or heard about it. It was these two women who were twins, and one of the sisters passed away. Like, I think she was like a 70 or something. And her
Mm.
sister said, well, we had promised each other that we were going to be in our best fitness ever. So she went on to be like one of the oldest bodybuilders in the
So
country.
awesome.
Yeah, and I
So
think she was like
awesome.
in her 80s or something. Super, super inspiring, because it's never too late, right? It's
It's
never
not.
too late.
It's
So
not.
what are the things that you're hearing on your end with your business when it
Yeah.
comes to
Well,
this?
well, first and foremost, I want to say a couple of statistics that are out there, you guys. Um, 51% of women right now are like opening businesses after the age of 50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's a huge statistic.
Mm-hmm.
75% of of the US, the purse is held by the woman. So, you know, they're the ones that are making the decisions in the household. They're the ones that are doing things. So if you think that your business isn't going to thrive, I'm going to tell you it will,
Yeah.
because women are looking for something. So
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I just
mm-hmm.
wanted to throw that out there. But one of the things, and I spoke about this on Instagram today, is I was at a festival with my husband, and this lady was sitting next to me, and she was so cute. Her name was Ophelia. I love that name. And she was telling me about how she cooks really good food, and she always likes to go to all of the different taco trucks when they're at festivals because she wants to see how good their food is. And I was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's really cool. And she's like, yeah. She goes, I wanted to do a taco truck. And I looked at her and I go, well, why don't you? And she said, ah, girl, I am too old. How old do you think I am? I'm like, girl, you look like you're, well, I don't know, you're 50. Like you don't look bad. You look great. And no, she was like 62. And she's like, I'm too old. I'm going to leave it to you. You should do it. I don't know this lady from anywhere, but we're just having this conversation, real raw and just to the bone. And I looked at her and I said, first of all, I have too many businesses. If I start another business, my husband is going to kill me.
Right.
But the second thing is you're never too old. You're never too old to start, and you have a lot of life to still give and
Yeah.
to still play in.
Mm-hmm.
And I always talk about, if God gave you the dream and the vision, then you need to walk that out. And
Mm-hmm.
he obviously gave her the dream and the vision because she kept bringing it up. She's like,
Right.
I even have a name for it. And I was
Wow.
like, what? You even have a name for it? Yeah. And this is the kind of food that I want to serve. Cause she was from the Central Valley, and they cook a lot of Mexican food in the Central Valley, and they love Chinese food in the Central Valley. It's really weird. But she's like, I want to mix the two. And I was like, yes, that is like what you need to do, because who doesn't love Chinese food and Mexican food
Right. Right.
after
And
at
if
the
they
late
can marry
night?
to have a
Okay,
baby,
okay,
shoot.
okay. It's called
Right.
in Sacramento, California. It's called the Wong family. Like, we have the Wong family out here, and they are they are Chinese and Mexican blend. And so I just want to say, don't cut yourself short because you think that you're too old.
Right.
You can really learn to delegate the things that maybe you're not in the best shape, or maybe you have a little bit of a I don't want to say lack, but maybe your strength is not in communication. You can just grab other people
That's what
to
we're
help
supposed to
build out
do.
the
Yeah.
yeah to help build out
Yeah.
the vision. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that so many times, and you might see this too, Nina, is that people think it's all on them. Like, it's just
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's, it's going to be on the weight of their backs. And I mean,
I mean, I've done that. So yeah,
yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
And I was like, it's
Absolutely.
not all you. Like, there's other people that you can have a part of the dream and the vision that has been
Yeah.
gifted to you. And her friend was sitting next to her, and she's like, it would be like from sun up to sundown. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, maybe it is for a short period of time, but everybody has to sprint. Like,
Right.
the sprint is in life. Like, you have to sprint at certain points in your life to get
Right.
to where you want to be. But the
Right.
sprint is for a very short period compared to
Well, why not just try
the
it
long
anyway?
lasting.
Right.
Well, exactly.
Right. Like, why not just try it anyway? Let's just see what happens. Because the older we get to, we have already, and I think we don't give ourselves enough credit, but a lot of us have already developed a network, right? I mean, it's years of making relationships, having friendships, maybe having neighbors that you get along with, like customers that you've served in your careers,
Yes.
things like that, teachers that you used to talk to with when your kids used to go to school, like all of that. You'll be very surprised of how much of a network you've created as you've gotten older. right? That's some of the advantages of being older rather than young, is that not
Mm.
that young people can't do it, but when you're older, you're not there yet, right? So you haven't had those years yet of having mistakes, of having failures that you've learned from, of learning how to navigate through tougher times, things like that. Not that young people don't go through tough times, but what I'm saying is when you're older, you've been through quite a bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we've also developed this network around us that if we've reached out, we'd be very surprised how successful we can be if we could just tap into the people that we've befriended that have different skill sets, different networks that they know, different relationships that they have that they would love to support you with, right? So if
Yeah.
we were using, for instance, your friend Ophelia, is that what her name?
Mm-hmm.
If we
Yeah.
were using her as the example, like imagine her writing a list of just the people she knows that she networks with or knows, and having those people reach out to the people that they know, right? Because they've built years and years of relationships. And people that are her age, or maybe even just a tad younger, a tad older, will be like, she's starting this now. That's amazing. Let's support it. Right. And I think we
Yep.
don't give ourselves enough credit. We really, we bring a lot to the table. We bring a lot to the table.
We absolutely do. And another thing is that we actually come out of, I guess, like the brain fog or the whole that happens, you
Mhm,
know,
mhm.
in that midlife space. And then when we go over that hump a little bit, we can think a little bit more clearer, or clearly,
Yeah.
and and everything starts to just power up, and
Mhm.
so I just think that there's so much time still left for a lot of people. I mean, I know you probably have the same. I have a couple of clients that are 70 years old, and they're just starting.
Yeah,
They're just
good. Good for
starting, and
them.
they're like, I want to do something, because I mean, here's the other thing, is that there is purpose in creating, right? There's
Right.
purpose in building something. There's purpose in the toil. And I think that we forget that, and
Mhm.
that purpose keeps us thriving in life.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
so why are we going to cut that short? I just,
It's the
like,
regret too, right? The big
mm,
regret. Hi Dom, thank you for joining us. It's the regret too. Dom is a really big go-getter and an entrepreneur herself.
yes,
And so,
awesome.
if anything, Dom, you're starting at a good place, and because you're younger, you can learn a lot and just take every experience to know that that's what you're going to need to keep pouring into your business and into others, and you will grow the network too, right? So, another thing I think, a reason why it's never too late is because maybe you've built up, if you have a little bit of a nest egg, you have a little bit of wiggle room, maybe, or maybe know a little bit more about navigating through finances or getting out of debt, things like that.
Mhm.
And so,
Mhm.
it is never too late to say, well, I don't have much, but I have this much. What can I do with this much, right? I think one of the biggest things, Christina, and you probably will 100% agree, is the investment in yourself. Investment
Mm.
in yourself. Like I started doing that like in my mid 30s, so I'm 50 now, so I've invested in myself quite a bit at this point, but I would have never really done that had I not gotten out of that mindset. Oh, I got to save every penny. Let me not do that. But I realize investing in myself is what has elevated me. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Mhm.
So, definitely one of the things I want people who are older or even those who are younger and are listening is really, really look at what finances mean to you and how do you invest in yourself, and get a little side job or a little side gig. Like there's no shame in that either. And
Yeah.
that's another thing, like people are like, oh no, I can't. Yeah, you can. There's a website, Christina, I don't know if you know about it. It's called flexjobs.com. And
Mm.
flexjobs.com is 100%, well, not 100, they do hybrid and 100% remote jobs. They're all
Oh,
listed there. And it's for people that are like, maybe don't want to go into an office right now, or are trying to start their thing, but need some capital, right? Need some way of earning
that's
money
awesome.
to pay for that. Yeah. And I thought that
Yeah.
was a really cool resource to throw out here for people. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I think, when you have a money story, you know, we teach
Mm-hmm.
that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a performance based pillar is what's your money story, because your money story can really dictate also um, that whole perception of it's too late,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
money story can hold you back from what you were really meant to do,
Mm-hmm.
or the vision that you were really meant to walk in. And I think so many times that seems to happen with people.
Yeah.
And I really would encourage everybody, go out and figure out, what is your money story, what are you telling yourself about money, um what was your money story as you were growing up, what did you watch, what did you see, how could you reframe that thought so that way you can have a little bit of a nest egg and you can invest in yourself. Because I will tell you, my money story, when I first started the entrepreneurship journey, my money story was very much about scarcity. And
Yeah.
I have to
Yeah.
hold on to everything. And there was no, how can I pay for a conference? How can I pay for growing my leadership skills? How can I pay for that? Like, I can barely put food on the table.
Right.
That was just a story that kept playing over and over and over and over, that I began to believe that story. And then um, my sister, which is such a random person, came to me and said, if this is really your career and your business, and she really said it like this really your career and your business, well, why wouldn't you put money
Mm.
towards it? And I thought, who are you to tell
Yeah.
me? But at the same time, right? Because it's your baby sister, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah. Of course, of
mm,
course, and of course, your arrogance pops up when
yeah,
somebody
yeah, right.
because
But
of
at the
fear, because of fear, right?
Right, right.
Now you
But at
gotta
the
do it.
same time, she was right,
She's
because
right.
if it were me working for, a bank or another organization, and they told me I needed to go to better my skill set, I would go.
Yes.
So why is it that we hold back from those things? It's our money story. So get your money story clear, so that way you can say, I do have time.
Right.
Because a time, money, all those things, they play into the story that you tell yourself, and then you don't walk in the vision.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
And
don't know.
time is our biggest commodity, and we waste it a lot. And here's
All
the
the
thing, like,
time.
I don't wanna, and I guess I've always been kind of like a go-getter, because I remember when I was a medical assistant, I was talking to an elderly woman, and I said to her, "Can I ask you a personal question?" She's like, "Sure." I said, "What is your biggest regret?" And she
Mm,
said, "My biggest regret is not doing what I really wanted to do." She was 80 at this point, right? So to her, I
mm,
don't know what she really wanted to do. We didn't get into the nitty gritties of it, but she regretted that so much. And from that day, I said, I don't want to be that person. So she said to me,
right.
"Don't you dare waste your time, because you have time I don't have anymore." And that
Mm,
really impacted me. Like, wow, what was that, Dom? Yes, walk in the vision. That's right.
yeah.
That's right. And I'm working on my part-time job while you're
Wow.
walking in your vision, right? Let's see. I'm working on my part-time job while listening to you in grind mode. Yeah, I mean,
I
listen,
love it.
that's how you're supposed to do it, right? Like, I know that going in full-fledged into your entrepreneurial business is also doable. You can do it. You just have to make sure that you have all of your things in place, right? You have your strategy in place, and you have a
Yep.
plan in
Yep.
place, like
Yep.
Christina said earlier, like delegation in place, because you don't know everything. And a lot of times what happens to us as entrepreneurs, especially when you're first beginning, is you are the receptionist, the social media manager, the video
Yeah.
editor.
Yeah.
You're the whole thing, but you get exhausted quickly. It's
Yes.
not joyful anymore. And you are leaving money on the table, because while you're
Absolutely.
taking care of doing all of these little shenanigans that you don't even like to do anyway, your clients can't get in contact with you, or you're not even reaching out or putting out the media
Yep.
that you need to get people to you. So it is not beneficial to you to try to be the master of all things, right? It
All
is
things.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
beneficial. Yeah. Yeah.
Nina,
Yeah.
that
Anything
brings
for a
up
business.
a point, because I am a podcaster as well, and you are too. And,
Yep.
that's how we initially met is through our podcasting. And I will say this, we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary, and my business partner and I, we were talking, and we thought, gosh, has it really been a year? Like, it doesn't even seem like we have done 52 episodes. And we went through it with a lot of ease, and not a lot of stress. However, at the 6 month mark, we decided to employ
Mm.
a editor. And had we not done that, I think that we would have been done. Like, we would have
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
burnt out. We would have been
Hmm.
spent.
It's a
And so
lot.
it was just, it is a lot. And
It's a
so to
lot.
recognize, can I do it? So that's the other thing is I really tell my clients, you want to know how to do the function, but once you know how to do the function, don't burn out on the function, because your job is to primarily be with the people, right?
Yeah.
When you're an
Yeah.
entrepreneur, you are primarily with the people and growing that business. So how can you be with the people? And so I just think that we do have to have those little pieces in place so we don't get burnt out, and so we
Yeah.
don't look at it like, oh my gosh, we're investing our time here now, and we think that we don't have a lot of time, and now I'm doing the things that I don't really want to do within the business because I think I have to do all of those things. I mean, it's just a story after story that we play
Yeah,
in our
yeah,
head.
we do. And we
It's
limit
just
ourselves
crazy.
too, right,
We
Christina? Because
do. We
if you're
do.
looking at something and you're saying, oh, okay, that's $100 a month. Damn, that's $100 a month. But
Hmm.
what you're not
Hmm.
seeing is if that person is helping you strategize and do something that's going to bring you, let's just use small numbers, $300 a month, then you have $200 now that that you can now pour back into your
That's
business.
right. That's
And
right.
but when you are in the beginning and you're scared and you have your money stories, like you said, right? And when you have
Hmm.
those money stories and you're working at a place of scarcity, you're gonna miss the boat because you're like, oh, I don't want to pay $100 for that. I'll do it myself. The problem is while you're doing it yourself, you're not selling. Right?
Yep.
While you're doing it
Yep.
yourself, you're not pouring into someone. And so that's something that I'm working on right now because I've had people help me here and there. I haven't quite gotten the people I want though to strategically help me. So now I'm just interviewing. I'm interviewing a ton of people and
Yes.
I'm letting them know what I'm expecting and what it looks like for them and what it looks like for me, right? Because I do it as a partnership, right? If
Good.
I win, they win, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that's how it's done because I'm like, I can't keep throwing away money and then it's okay of a result when I'm looking to impact people's lives. I just don't have time. Right. But the whole thing
Absolutely.
is you're never going to be, to me anyway, you're never too old. It's just what it is. If you came to me at 90 and said, I wanted to start coaching, oh my gosh, that would be amazing because at
Hmm.
90, you can give so much wisdom.
Wisdom. Wisdom.
Right.
I know. I was
Oh
just thinking
my
about that. Oh
gosh.
my God.
Yeah.
I'd
Yes.
be like, sign me up because I want to
Yes.
know about what you got to offer, because you've got to
Right.
offer a whole lot that I
Right.
have not even experienced yet,
Right. And
you
that's the
know?
same thing with me being 50 and somebody
Hmm.
comes to me at 30 and they want me to help them. I
Yeah.
already have 20 years of a
Yep.
lot of great experiences and hard times and everything that I can now pour into this person,
Yes.
right? But it's like it doesn't matter the age if they come to me, whether they're older or younger, because I still am going to know something more or less,
Mm.
right? I never
Hmm.
ever put myself on the table as knowing everything, and I would never do that,
Right.
right? I just
Well,
know my stuff. I know what I know, you know?
absolutely.
Yeah,
Well, the other thing too is I want you guys to think about, if you don't walk through the door, who are you missing?
right.
And I'm not saying that as far as like money opportunities, though money opportunities are going to be there because it's a
Right.
business and the business will make money. as long as you walk through the door. I'm talking about on a bigger level, on a grander level. Like, who are you missing to pour that wisdom back into,
Yeah.
or that person that was looking for a mentor that could, or that aligns with the business model that you have put out,
Mm-hmm.
and wants to take it across the world or into another area. I always ask, like, if you don't walk through the door, who are you missing?
Who are you missing? Hola, Lily. Hola. Welcome. You know,
Hey,
I,
Lily.
hi. So listen, not even who are you missing, but who are you today? Because let me tell you, next year, you're going to probably look back and regret it if you didn't make any decisions for yourself today. Right. So I always think about that, Christina. Every year at the beginning of the year, I think about what's the new thing I'm going to challenge myself with for that year.
Mm.
And I do that on purpose because what happened was for many years I would open up my journals, and I felt like all I had to do was erase the number and just put the new date because it was the same thing. And I'm
Yes.
like, and that right really blew my mind. And it was like I think in 2000, maybe 14 or 15, where I said to myself, no, no, no.
I'm done.
We,
I'm done
yeah,
with that.
I'm done with that.
That's
Like,
for the
how
birds.
long am I
Yeah.
going I felt like I was a little bit like in a movie, like repeating just the same
Yeah.
year. And
Groundhog Day.
yeah, yeah, that's what it felt like. And I said, I don't want to do this to myself because I don't want to die and regret that
Mm,
part of my life where
mm.
I said, I didn't do this, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. I'm going to still do that because I'm hard on myself and I love to do a lot of things, but I know that I've done a hell of a lot more than I would have if I didn't pay attention. And you
Yeah.
have to pay attention. If there's something stirring in your heart and you want to start something, stop lying to yourself about you're too old. Stop lying to yourself about you're too poor. Stop lying to
Yes.
yourself that you're not good enough. You're
Yes.
not, yeah, those are
Yes.
lies. Those are not universal truths. There are so many people out there running very, very lucrative businesses, right? And sometimes when I'm looking at them, I'm saying, how? you know, but they are, you know why? They found their people, they found
Hmm.
their niche, they
Yep.
found their media ground, wherever it is that they're gonna run from, and they are killing it. Okay, killing
Yeah.
it. And I have
Yeah.
nothing but respect for that game. Nothing but
Absolutely.
respect. So don't
Absolutely.
stop thinking that you're too old or out of it or you're not wise enough or anything, because that's just a bunch of lies. And that's what me and Christina do when we come on here. We try to come on here every other week or so to talk to you guys, to encourage you, because we're both women coaches. We both help women, and we both help
Absolutely.
women strive to that next level of wherever it is they want to be. Why?
Yeah.
Because we know that all you need is that outside perspective. That's all you need. Somebody to look at
Yeah.
your situation and say, okay, what about ABC? And you go, oh, I didn't even think of that. I mean, that happens to me with my coach. He
Yeah.
points something out, and I'm like, oh, shoot, that's a
Yeah.
good one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's possible,
Hmm.
and I think that, again, you're not too old. You're never too old to start, first of
No.
all. Okay, so
Nope.
you're never too old to start, and you're never too old to recreate new neural pathways in your brain, to think a new
Yep.
thought, to reframe thoughts, to have a new money story, you know um, to look at your circle that you have and to delegate or to ask them to be a part of what you are creating. Like, you're not too old to do that. Just
Right.
go and make it happen. Like, I just think that if you ask today, if you're 40, 30, 50, I want you to ask yourself, okay, what would my 80-year-old self say?
Yeah.
Like, what would my 80-year-old self say? Would she say, go for it? Because I have another, 20, 30, 40 years to go for it? Or would she say, I'm content. I don't need for anything else. I don't need other people within my circle. But then again, it comes back to, well, who are you missing?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to miss somebody because you
Right.
weren't willing to walk in the vision that was given to you. And I just
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
hope from this conversation that people realize that if somebody gave you the vision, that you got to walk it out so you don't miss the other people that you're supposed to pour into them, so that that vision can keep going, that legacy can keep going beyond you, beyond you.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what did she say? Run to
Run
it
to it
at
at 8.
8.
Run to it at 8. What does that mean? Run to it
I
at
think she
80
meant
maybe?
80.
Maybe
80, I
80.
think
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
80.
Run to it
Yeah,
at 80.
80.
Lily is a straight shooter. Let me tell you, she has a show called Lily Sin Barreras, and it's Spanish and English, but she's a straight shooter, and you gotta like, yeah, you gotta admire that straight shooterness. I love it. So Christina, before I let you go, before we close out, I just want to let everyone know what we do. So I am a business coach. I'm about to launch my program, and I haven't launched it yet, but it's Mastering Your Game. And it's basically goals and accountability, mind flow, energy. And what that is we work through a whole framework of different things that we do to help people get to that next level. And it's so funny. I used to always say, oh, 35 and older, that's the women I want to work with. Well, I've been getting a lot of women like 25, 30. It's like, why can't you work with me though? And I'm like, I can certainly work with you as well. I just wanted to aim for the older, the older demographic, but they are like pushing me like, no. I'm like, okay, all right. So I just deal with women, women who want to
Yes.
shift what they're doing in their careers or start something new, or even just have that side gig where they want to really embrace something while they're working. Because you know what, Christina, a lot of people like me, I love working. I actually
Yeah.
love it. It actually structures my day in a beautiful way. And
Yeah.
so I actually love being a leader and an entrepreneur, But tell us what you do, Christina.
So at Consistent Clarity Coaching, we have 3 different pillars within our organization. And the first is performance, the second is leadership, and then the third is business and marketing strategy. And what we do is we just come in and we say, okay, like what is not working? What automation do you need to build into your systems in order to move you to the next level? Some people are just, like you said, I just want to dip my toes in and I want to have a little side hustle. Some people are like, hey, I'm ready to take my side hustle to the main hustle. Some
Mm-hmm.
people are like, hey, my main hustle has been stagnant for a while. What are the holes that you see in order for me to grow to the next level? And some people are ready to just get out of their hustle and straight make some passive income because their hustle has been flourishing for so long. Now they
Yeah.
just want to, go to bed and make money. And so
Right.
that's what we do. And
Good.
so, yeah. And I work with only women. Sorry, men. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
me
just
too. Me too.
just
I
work
do
with
too. I think
women.
I just flow with women a little better,
Yes.
although I've coached men.
Yeah.
But as like like a fluke, it's turned out. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you're the best coach ever. I'm like, wait, don't say that out loud. I'm only for women. I'm only for women.
Yeah.
And it's funny because that's what I'm doing now, Christina. I'm actually working with my business partner now. And we're building out a whole automation thing too, because I think it's
Yeah.
important, right? And I'm glad
Yeah.
that me and you are doing that for women, because that's going to be
Yeah.
it's going to be super helpful for them, and you're going to
Absolutely.
find your tribe. I'll find my tribe, and we're going to tribe it together, because that's what
Yes,
I
girl.
love about what we do, is that we are willing to support each other, love on each other, lift each other up, and be there for each other when we are going through those tough times. Because I don't care what anybody says, everybody got tough times, everybody does, but it's never ever too late to start. So
Nope.
please get your
Yep.
behinds out there and start. What did you say, Lily? Oh, 8 years old. Okay, run to it at 8 years old. Got it. Oh my gosh. So thank you, Lily, for being here, and Dom, and all of you who have been watching. I see that there's a few people watching. Thank you guys for
Nice.
being here and sharing this space with me and Christina, because what we want to do is every time we come on is to try to impact you just a little bit more. Now, if every day you can go forward at least 1%, we have done our job, and that means we are helping you. So if you want to reach
Yeah.
out to Christina, what's your reach out? What's your stuff?
You can go to consistentclaritycoaching.com, and that's my website, or you can email me at info@consistentclaritycoaching, and we can just have a conversation. Let's talk strategy and see where you're at and see where I can serve you.
Perfect. And you guys know me, it's Neena Perez. It's straight talk, no sugar added. So, if you guys want to leave some comments on here and everything, I'll make sure that Christina gets them. I'll also make sure to link all of Christina's information below. But Christina, thank you for being on here with me, because I
Yay.
love these conversations between two coaches and how we can pour
Uh,
into other people. So that's what I want. And like Lily said right here, Amen.
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 I love it. I love it. So
Oh
awesome.
man, this is so awesome. So thank you guys for being here. This is Neena Perez and Christina Sassy Massey. Until next time.